Hi there and welcome to your yoga class. We are doing another chakra flow today and we are concentrating on our solar plexus chakra, our manipura. And this is all about self-esteem, energy, our strengths, and really closely associated with fire. So we're going to start off with Kapalabhati, which is some breathing through your nose. You're going to take a big inhale and you're going to pump the air. You're going to tense your abdomen, pull it in and pump the air out of your lungs in short breaths, like, and try and do 10 at a time. So taking a nice big inhale through your nose and pump the air out. Try not to breathe out forcefully, just pumping it out through your nose. It can take a little bit of practice, this one, but just trying to pull your abdomen in order to pump all that air out your nose, and try and do 3 sets of 10 if you can. Getting ourselves warmed up, getting the fire in the belly, ready for our practice, summoning up that energy. So we're going to be doing lots of balancing poses and lots of abdominal exercises today, twists and planks and that sort of thing, but we're going to start off with banana asana. So lying on the floor, just bring your legs out to the right while keeping your torso straight and your arms as well. So if someone was looking at you from above, you'd be in the shape of a banana. You can cross the left leg over if you like, if that makes it a little bit more comfortable for you. But just relax. It's just a really nice side bend, this one, and of course it is very much concentrated on, of course, the torso area. Your solar plexus is located sort of just above your belly, hands width above your belly button, there or thereabouts. So, as I say, lots of toning of the abdominal areas along with twists and planks and balancing. So let's just go to the other side. Just walk your legs out to the left and your hands out to the left and feel the stretch on the other side. So as I say, the Manipura chakra is all about your self-esteem and your energy and your will and that sort of thing. So on one hand, you might feel that you're very passive, you're not very strong enough, but it can go the other way and you can be too dominating and all that sort of thing. So it's all about balancing that up and finding a nice middle ground. So by doing these poses today, this should hopefully help you feel a little bit more levelled out, especially if you're doing them in conjunction with the other chakra flow classes. So we're going to lie down on our back now, and we're going to be pointing our toes and lifting our legs up alternately. Now you can lift your head and shoulders off just like I'm doing, or you can keep them down and just lift your legs up. Okay, but just not wrenching your head up, remember. So it's like a crunch while you're lifting your leg up. So just do about 3 in both sides. Have a nice big stretch, and then we're going to be sitting up nice and slowly. So hands above your head and really nicely and slowly sitting up, using your core, stretching your hands up. Trying to keep your feet on the floor. It can be quite challenging, this one. Watch your lower back as well. But taking your time and doing it nice and slowly, trying to sort of peel off the floor and then peel back down to the floor as well. So 5 of them. And then we're going to come into happy baby pose. So you can hold on to the back of your thighs if you want, bringing your knees up and towards your chest, or you can hold on to the outside of your feet, pulling your feet down and out. Really nice big hip opener, this one. And as I say, hold on to the back of your thighs. As long as you're sort of pulling your thighs towards you and down and out to the side, that's what we're looking for. So coming to sit up, you might want to roll up or sit up. We're going to do a little seated twist. So cross that left leg over the right leg is long. Hug the left knee with your right arm and twist round. Keep the back nice and straight. Left hand comes round behind you. You can look behind you or look over to the side. And let's repeat it on the side. So make sure that foot is planted down on the floor. Nice big cuddle with the arm. And come round. Twisting, squeezing your internal organs. And then we're going to come on to our hands and knees. Hands nice and splayed into a nice neutral tabletop. Then we'll do some cat-cows. So cat pose, back's getting arched up. Cow pose, the back is going into a small back bend. So inhaling in the way up to cow, exhaling to cat. Really nice for loosening up. And then you're going to take the right leg out to the back and the right hand. So be careful here because you're doing it on the same side. And then from there, you're going to come on to a side plank. So you can do this version if you like, and even maybe go into tree pose on one of the sides, or you can put that bottom knee down as long as you're in a side plank. And if you're in tree pose, just bring your bicep alongside your ear. Nice big stretch up. Okay, so now the left foot is going to come forward. You're going to come into a nice low lunge position. Watch that front knee doesn't come in front of the toes. Stretching up with your hands. Then placing your right back of the right hand on the left knee and twisting round to the left. Nice big deep breaths. So hands back in the mat either side of the foot. Let's sit back to our first downward dog. Pedal out the feet out. Remember your knees can be bent as well in this one, getting your back nice and straight. So lifting the left leg up, three-legged dog, just briefly before coming forward to plank. And lowering down to the floor. Coming up to cobra or an upward dog. And then tucking the toes, coming up to downward dog again. Still pedaling out if you want to. Pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Now let's come down onto our knees again. Let's do a couple of rounds of cat-cow, really pushing that back up towards the ceiling. That's it. Feeling your spine flexing and extending, keeping your thighs and your arms still and really using your torso. So coming back to a neutral spine. Let's bring that left leg out the back and get your balance and hold up that left hand as well. Harder than it looks, so just be careful, okay? Get your weight squarely on the other knee and the other hand, and then coming into a side plank. So you can come in, or you can be on your elbow as well if you want to, or you can be up on your hand, and of course you can do that tree variation as well, bicep along the ear. Just do whatever's available to you. Then coming back down again. So let's bring our right foot forward between our hands and come into a low lunge with that back knee down as well. And let's bring the back of the left hand to the right knee and stretch back. Really stretch that right shoulder back. Hands onto the mat, tuck the toe, and stepping back to downward dog once again. So this time, bring the right leg up, stretching it out, and then let's roll forward or just come forward to plank, down to chaturanga or straight to the floor, upward dog or cobra, tucking the toes back to downward dog. So let's come down in those knees now and come into a nice child's pose. Just resting your head on the floor, resting your hands, top of the hands beside the feet, and just take a few breaths here. Don't get too comfy. We need to carry on and do a little bit more work, but just taking the time to check in with your breath and really feel your shoulders relaxing and down into the floor. So let's slowly come back up, and we're going to hold on to our biceps. Stay on your knees, hold on to your biceps, because that's the width of the elbows, okay? So we're going to come up into a dolphin pose, okay? So your knees can be bent like this, or you can straighten them up. Those heels might not come to the floor, and don't worry about that because it's a really big stretch. It's really like downward dog on your elbows, so bend those knees as much as you need to while still trying to have them straight and have the heels further to the floor. So let's come down onto our tummies now, elbows on the floor into Sphinx pose. So you can have a 90-degree angle in your elbow like me here, or you can just sugar your arms forward a little bit so there's less of an angle in your back. Just choose what is best for you. So let's come up to another downward dog, stretching it out, and then we're going to walk to our hands. Keep your hands on the mat, bend those knees, feet hip width apart, hold on to your inner elbows and have a ragdoll. Loosen that head off and the spine if you can, and roll up really nice and slowly up to the top of your mat. Standing in mountain pose, catching your breath, and let's come into chair pose. So hips and knees back, weight is in your heels. You can look up at your hands if you want to, or you can look straight ahead. And then if you can, just lifting the left foot off the floor. And the weight is very definitely on your heels as well. And just come down as much as you can. And then standing up straight, coming into a twist. So try and keep those hips facing forward. The right hand's coming back, left hand forward. Nice chest opener, this one. And then let's step back with our right foot, about a leg length or a bit longer. Plant the back foot, just like this, and come to a warrior two. Arms out, looking along your front hand. Watch that front knee. And let's reverse it. So the front hand turns over and comes up. Back hand slides down your thigh. Again, reaching up and over. And then we're coming into an extended side angle pose. So the left elbow comes onto your knee and you're trying to get a lovely straight line from those fingertips right down to the edge of that foot. Then both hands in the mat again. Into a runner's lunge, feeling your hips dropping. And then straight into a side plank. So you can come up in your hand like this, and you can always kneel in that bottom knee as well if you want to, if that's too much, or go down in your elbow. So just adjust it as you need to. Into your full plank, lower to the floor, upward dog or cobra again, tuck those toes and come up to a downward dog. That's it, stretching it out, keeping your breathing going, remember. And again, walking up to those hands, keeping them on the mat until you're up there. Bend the knees as much as you can, ragdoll pose, wiggle about as much as you need to in that pose as well, and slowly straighten up vertebrae by vertebrae. Lovely. Chair pose again, hips and knees sliding back, protect that lower back as well, and looking up or looking straight ahead. And then we're going to lift that right foot off the ground, if you can. If you can't, that's okay. But lifting the right foot up, feel how that changes things. And back into that twist again. This time the right hand is coming forward and the left hand is coming back. Stepping to the front of the mat, we're stepping back in the left foot this time, coming into our warrior two. So plant the back foot, front knee is bent and over your ankle, and hands out in a nice straight line, relaxing those shoulders and looking along the front hand, and then reversing it. Left hand running down your thigh, right hand coming up and over. Then extended side angle pose. So elbow on the knee, arm up above. If that arm is too much for you, you can put it straight up in the air if you want to, and you can also put the bottom hand on the floor. So we're back into our full plank again, and come into a side plank. Pop that right knee in the floor if you need to. Back to plank, we're going to lower down again. Pause before you hit the floor if you want to in a chaturanga. Upward dog, cobra, and then back to downward dog again. So let's walk up to the top of the mat again, and this time let's have a forward fold. Now remember, those knees can be bent when you do this, raising your hands up, palms together, looking at your thumbs, back down to mountain pose. So from here, we are going to balance on the left leg, bring the right leg up and come into a warrior three. Now you can hold on while you're doing this, or you can just not lift your leg up as far. But obviously you have to balance. Wobbling's fine, as you can see I'm wobbling here, that's absolutely fine. But just do the best you can, and then straight from there, don't put your leg down. You're going to cross that right ankle over your left knee and come into our figure four chair pose. So a fair bit of balance required there, but just do what you can, because balancing and moving is quite hard as well. Coming back to mountain pose again. Then from here we're going to do blown palm pose, so holding on to that left wrist with the other hand, you're just going to stretch towards the side, a really nice side body stretch this one. Doing lots of poses involving our sides and twists and planks today. And let's try that warrior with the other foot. Really plant down through the standing foot and hinge forward. It's a practice thing as well as just a balance thing. But please feel free to hold on to the wall or even use blocks, to balance on the floor. Pushing that heel right out the back, and remember, slowly coming up, don't put the foot down if you can manage it. Cross the ankle over, keep the foot flexed and come into your chair pose. Just come down as much as you can. Come in to stand back up, mountain pose again, and let's do that blown palm pose again, but let's start with the other wrist. So hold on to the right wrist first, bending over, keeping the body nice and straight, and let's switch to the other side. Really nice side stretch this one. So let's raise our hands up, stand at the top of the mat, and then forward fold. Halfway lift up in the fingertips, plant those hands, and let's step back to a plank pose, lowering down, pausing before you hit the floor if you want to, in chaturanga. Top of the feet on the floor, coming up to cobra pose or upward dog. Back down again. And then let's come on to our side. We'll use just side sphinx. So that left arm is bent on the floor. And again, just adjust it. We want to get the side stretch in here, the left hand side. Make sure that right shoulder's back as well. Just a couple of breaths here. Adjusting it as much as you need to. And of course, let's do the other side. So lying on your side, nice and straight. If you can, relaxing your shoulders, left shoulder back as well. So let's come down onto our back now. Knees up, let's come into happy baby pose. So you can hold on to the back of the thighs there, just like I was doing, or the outside of the feet with the elbows and the inside of the knees. Pull those feet down and out. Really, really open up the hips. It's a fantastic hip opener, this one. But if you can't reach your feet, that's fine. And if you want to dial it up a bit as well, you can straighten your legs too if the happy baby isn't enough for you. So popping your feet back down again. We are just going to do a nice twist now. So bend the right knee and crossing it over. But keep your shoulder blades on the floor. You can straighten that top leg as well. So you are coming onto your side. And that knee is coming across the top there. So just adjust it. Doesn't have to be straight. Bent is fine. But keep both the shoulder blades on the floor. Don't let your right shoulder blade come up. Knees into the chest. Have a little rock side to side, back and forward. And then let's do the other side. So right leg lying long, left knee into the chest. Well, as near into the chest as you can get it. And guide it over with your hand, straightening it if you can. Unless there's a door there, which there is for me. But it might be too much for you with it straightened. Anyway, so just do what you can. And then from there, bringing your knee back over, let's go into Shavasana. So really spread out, take as much room up as you like. Top of the hands on the mat and just relaxing. Really just feel your body settle for the first minute or so. Let go of your breathing. We're not doing any special sort of breathing. Nice and relax with every exhale. Your body getting a bit heavier and just letting your body restore, rebalance itself whilst you relax. So just starting to come back into the room and let your breathing get a little bit heavier. Wiggle those fingers and toes if you need to. Bend the knees, have a stretch, do whatever it suits you to wake yourself back up, and roll onto your side and pause there for just a second. Don't rush up, spoiling the calm that you have created, and coming up to a sitting position. Just sitting for a second with your hands at your heart. Thank you so much for joining me, and just sit and feel the stillness for a second before we'll finish with a namaste. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this, and please check out the other videos as well on the channel. Subscribe and you'll get the notifications as to when they're coming. So I hope to see you again next time. See you later.